I also want to thank you, Buster, because shout out to Ricky St. Hilaire. Y'all taught me how to mobile record. I recorded a verse with you, a song with you for a mixtape, a beautiful struggle mixtape I did in the hotel room in the W Hotel in Los Angeles. And my life ain't been the same since, man. I've been mobile with the shit since then. But that song that we did, The Conversation, was over a J Dilla beat. So I want to give you the opportunity to talk about your special, unique, creative relationship with Jay Dilla and what he's brought to your career and the hip hop in general.
Jay Dilla is my favorite producer probably ever. And Q-Tip, I don't think people realize Q-Tip is like the East Coast Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't realize or sing him praise the way we need to. Like,
that's exactly right.
You know, a lot of us came through Q-Tip, you know, me with leaders. Even though we got our start with Chuck D and Hank Shockley and Bomb Squad, Q-Tip believed in us and positioned us to become, I mean, I can speak for me personally. He changed my life with that scenario opportunity and never stopped changing my life since then. That's why he kept including me in Tribe albums. He kept being a part of my albums. He kept giving me the tutelage. He took it from Chuck, you know, to becoming my big brother after Chuck gave birth to me. Most Def kind of came through Q-Tip. D'Angelo kind of came through Q-Tip and Ali Shaheed. So many of us came through Q-Tip. Jay Dilla. It's like, if we was all signed to Q-Tip, Q-Tip would be the aftermath of the East Coast.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like interesting when you really put it in perspective, because I had these conversations with him before, you know, just about how he kind of ushered in so much like papers and Empire State Building legacies through his conduit, you know what I mean? And it's the same with Dilla. Like, I met Dilla through Q-Tip. The first time I heard a beat tape from Dilla, Q-Tip was still living in 192 in Linden Boulevard in Queens. And he gave me this Dilla tape and I lost my mind. I think the Still Shining beat off of the Coming album came from this first Dilla tape that I got. And ever since then, I've included Dilla in every one of my albums, except for Back on My Bullshit. But every single solo album I put out, Dilla is on it. And this relationship with Dilla, it constantly evolved in a phenomenal way, all the way up to his day of passing. Dilla grew an appreciation and a love for me in a way that was so incredible, because Dilla started to refer to me as the James Brown of hip hop. So he would call me God. You know what I mean? Stop calling me Busta Rhymes. He called me Godfather because I reminded him of the Godfather of Soul I emulated my ad-libs from James Brown. It's like, if you listen to the Funky Drummers beat break, it's good. A 1, a 2, a 3, 4, get it, kaboom.
Yeah.
Then you hear the ad-libs go.
Yeah.
Like, I took those ad-libs and turned them into Busta Rhymes ad-libs. So whenever you always hear the who, ha.
Yeah.
You hear in the background of all of my verses on every record, every album, every feature, every collab, everything. So that combined with my work ethic, combined with my timing as far as how I sit in the pocket of a beat, Dilla would always say, "You the Godfather, you the Godfather." And Common started calling me the Godfather after Dilla because Common was very close to Dilla too. Like, Common played a significant role in Dilla's life.
That's right.
I watched that firsthand, like, you know, in Dilla's later years when he was, you know, starting to really started to succumb to this lupus that he had. You know, Common had moved Dilla and Ma Dukes out to LA and got him a
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
The specialist that was able to treat him all the way until his day of passing. So I really love Common for who he has always been as a man first, and as an incredible lyricist second, and just as a friend and a brother to all of us, you know what I'm saying? But Dilla, what happened with Dilla was, you know, the first 2-3 albums that he produced on, the Coming When Disaster Strikes an Extinction Level, Dilla got tired of coming to New York, and that that bugged me out. He kind of just made it clear to me he ain't coming back to New York.
Right.
I don't know if it was the energy, if it was the weather, because I know New York cold like the D, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it was the weather. He was making me feel like the weather was the weather. I don't think he wanted me to think he didn't like my city, but he made up his mind one day and was like, I ain't coming back to New York. And Dilla would just start sending me beats, and he would never really send me the sessions. He would start sending me the 2 tracks, and the 2 tracks was slapping so crazy that we ain't had no problem mixing shit from the 2 tracks, which was just the beat CDs he would send me. And then what was even more crazy was he would send these beat CDs like a Dilla volume 1 through volume 5 of beats. I don't know if you got that collection of the volume 1 through volume 5.
Absolutely. And I have a couple of records over them 2 tracks as well.
Hell yeah. So, you know, you familiar with the Dilla volume 1 through 5.
Yeah.
You know, he would put like 20 to 25 beats on them. And the crazy shit was he would just give you certain joints. He would give you like a good minute or 2. But then certain songs, he'd give you like 20 seconds of that shit. It'll fade in.
Yeah.
The climax level, and then immediately start fading out. So it's like you got to loop the shit at the right point to be able to turn it into something that's 3-4 minutes long to make a song out of it, and then mix that shit. And it was like, you know, you would call him and ask him for the session. He say he gonna send it. He don't send it. And then when you finish mixing this shit and send it to him for his approval, he would approve it or not approve it.
Yeah.
And that was it. He was not coming to tweak shit though. So I just kind of fell in love with his fuck the rules approach, not just creatively, not just politically correct wise, but just overall. It was I'm an artist in the purest form of what it is to be an artist. And if motherfuckers ain't playing by my rules, then it's my way or the highway.
Right.
And I grew to love and appreciate that shit because he was still super giving. He would hit me with so much shit. I got about 300 and something Dilla beats. And there's so many joints that I've never gotten to. To be perfectly honest with you, Talib, me and you and Raekwon, y'all are only 2 that I've actually given shit to from the batch that I've had from Dilla personally. And I'm it's not that I don't want to spread it. Obviously, you know, we trying to keep this incredible legacy of Dilla alive.
Yeah.
But I'm super overprotective of his shit because I don't want nobody to misrepresent his shit neither, because that's how you also make sure that his legacy is being kept alive in the right way. So, you know, with that being said, and the regard that I hold him in amongst many other Dilla fans around the world, I take great responsibility in being able to be privileged with the opportunity of having the batch of music that I have from him to be able to use at my discretion with my Duke's blessing, of course, at all times.
Yes.
And that, you know, his shit is handled and treated with care. And, you know, I just love him unprecedentedly. And he made sure that I felt how much he loved me and how much he appreciated what I had to bring when it was time for us to collab and make shit and create records. He just always made me feel good about being Busta Rhymes when his music. And he never, ever, ever tried to tell me what to do or how to do it. He loved it the way I did me. And he needed to continue to be my complete self or my best self when I did my records with him. So, you know, with that being said, y'all gonna hear Dilla on everything that I'm doing for as long as I'm recording, because I just got that with him. Word, thank you.
Beautiful. Word.
What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party. When opportunity knocking, then young nigga move that door. Whoa, get your foot stuck in it, call me young, go get it. Now you can't fuck with it, might as well roll with it. What's the